All right, today's a big day. We're going to be talking about NVIDIA's earnings here. I did a video last night with a special guest, and I'm going to share that video with you here in a moment on a stock that we've been talking about on this channel for weeks that's had a pretty big move. I'm going to share some of that with you, and then I'm going to come back and do some technicals on it. But before I get into that, I have to talk about Mr. Washington, Commander of Wall Street, not Commander in Chief. You know who we're talking about. Some filings came out the other day, and they were very interesting and very amusing. And I got to share it with you. In Q1, he had 3,700 trades, which comes to around 59 trades per day. And I found that number very interesting because I'm a full-time day trader. And on an average day, I do around 60 trades. And so apparently, the guy in Washington is one of us, a full-time day trader. And I think he's doing better than us. I think that he has officially wrestled that crystal ball away from Nancy Pelosi and is in that #1 spot for insider trading. No, I'm just kidding. This is not a political channel. I just thought that that was incredible that he was so active in the markets. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's Barron. I don't know if it's somebody connected to him, but he is making financial moves. And what does that mean? Am I just kind of shedding some light or throwing some shade on it today for Mr. You know who I'm talking about? You can't say the name on YouTube or you get messed up with the algorithm. So I'm not even going to do it. But why I'm sharing it with you is I want you to understand it sends a message as to how to make the fastest and easiest money is on Wall Street. The president knows it. Information is power. That's why you guys came and showed up here to hear about the stocks that I'm trading and the money moves I'm making. And him getting in on Wall Street, he's a real estate guy. And what he's learning is that the real money, you don't got to sit and build and paint and fix the concrete out front and put in gold toilets. Wall Street is where the money's at. And the fact that he has showed up on Wall Street as a full-time day trader tells me that I'm using my time wisely. This is the hardest way to make easy money. And no, we don't have the crystal ball. And no, we don't got that inside knowledge, but we follow the charts, and the money moves always show up in the charts. And I provide for you guys critical levels, and I call it TTL, trust the levels, and they work. And on that point, let me quickly segue to my video, and I'll come back and share a couple other thoughts on the market. Let's check this out. Welcome to Wall Street. This is the Stocks with Josh show, and look who I've got in the studio today, the man, the legend, Mr. Chris Sain.
What's up, good people? I'm in the building, man, in town. Had to come by and see my brother Josh, you know, the GOAT, the one and only. And so in town for the week, but you guys know this weekend I got my Quiet Wealth Summit. And so I'm looking forward to blessing those that will be in attendance this week for an awesome 2-day experience. So again, man, Josh, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I want to shout out that Chris is in town doing an event, and you can still attend it. I'm going to make sure that the details of it are in the top pinned comment or the description of the video, and he'll share a little bit more about that as we go. But before we get too deep into this, I want to ask Mr. Sain, what are your thoughts on this market? We hit 750. My question is, what are the chances of that being the top? Is the top in for now? What's your opinion?
I think we might have a temporary top. Okay. And so we had a run that was maybe too far too fast that I think is being digested. And I think with a little bit of profit taking, a little bit of repositioning, I saw, for example, railroad stocks, CSX, a little bit of rotation took place into despite the fall back in the market today. So I just think maybe 1 or 2 days of a little more selling, a little more profit taking to retest and retrace the levels we just broke out from, especially on the SPY and other assets you guys might be trading. But I think the bull market is still intact, and it'll be a matter of time before we resume back to the upside.
On that point, we know that NVIDIA's earnings are Wednesday night, and I expect that they're going to crush it. They seem to always crush it. And I do expect, as usual, the stock to go higher. I think it'll be volatile. But the big question I have is, will whatever gains that are gotten, will they be maintained by Friday? Are you waiting for Wednesday or even this Friday to take any new positions? Or what's your view on the catalyst ahead that is NVIDIA? And then, of course, the next question is going to be, after that, what do you expect the next catalyst to be?
this week will be a good week to position yourself properly for moves to come into next week. So, for example, if we, for instance, see any type of pullback in NVIDIA after earnings, or say the market sells off for whatever reason, say we get a pop or a fake out breakout and we get that move, but then we come back and retrace, we retest. I think that move is a buy signal for us to continue to the upside after these earnings reports come out.
All right, we're going to play a game. What did Josh buy 1,000 shares of at the close of Tuesday? And what am I planning to short 1,000 shares of on Wednesday? Before I give the answer to that, I'm curious if you put on any trades or you're looking to put on any trades. What stock are you watching for a potential move this week?
I'm keeping my eye on Microsoft. Two things. The president had a few people with him that stood out in his trip to China. Do not overlook those covert indicators that's being given by Wall Street, by the market, okay? But aside from those two companies, which would have been Tesla and NVIDIA, I'm also keeping my eye on Microsoft. I saw that Bill Ackman sold Google to take a position inside of Microsoft, which I think was a good move because certain plays, AMD, NVIDIA, Caterpillar, there's several plays that has ran significantly already, whereas Meta, Netflix, Microsoft, for example, to give you guys three, have not yet joined the party. And so if you want to be part of what's going to move next, I believe those are some good candidates, Microsoft being one of those.
I really like that pick. I did a lot of trading on Microsoft today. It was one of my number one positions, and it had a rough day. It actually had a great day at the beginning, at the open. It started up really, really high, and it was just incredible to see so much of that given back. And so the move was to take puts to the downside all throughout the day. But I don't think the move is over. I completely agree with Chris that Microsoft, out of all the Mag 7, is on the top of my watch list. I will comment on bullish and bearish flow, and that will give you a clue as to what it is that I bought 1,000 shares of tonight, not for a long-term investment, but for a swing trade. And to be clear, I will get out of this if it's not profitable, and if I make money, I will get out of it. Okay, so this is just put your eyes on what I got my eyes on, and it's been a little bit of a troublesome or difficult trade, and I'm going to get Chris's opinion on it in a minute. But I bought 1,000 shares of Palantir right after the market closed, and why did I do that? Well, it's actually holding the ground that I've told you guys in the past that it needed to hold. And even though we had dipped at the beginning of last week, or actually maybe I've lost a little bit of time. I think it was Thursday or Friday. We lost ground, critical ground. We recaptured that here on Tuesday. And so I've said over and over again, if it stays above my lines, I will continue to give it a shot. And so I'm giving it another shot. I'm curious to see how the market opens up tomorrow morning to see whether I'm going to get penalized for that decision or rewarded. Now, the other move that has made me a ton of money, and it's been very profitable, it keeps printing. I'm almost getting used to just accessing that ATM money of shorting Intel. INTC has been one of the very best trades that I've had in the last 30 days, and it's just constantly shorting every rip. Now, it ripped, but I did take a position, but it really was doing too good. It was holding. So I bought 1,000 shares short after the market closed, but I watched it for an hour and it didn't really move. And so I cut that position and I thought maybe this wants to go a little higher. It has fallen a lot from $133 all the way to $102 in basically 5 or 6 trading days. That's been an incredible move. So we had a little bit of a pop today. I want to see where that fizzles out. I don't want to get into it too early, but it will be one of the picks that I'm going to be watching over the next trading day to see if it fades again and keeps giving those returns. You guys know how profitable SOXS has been. I agree with Chris. Microsoft has been another one. Palantir, I'm in it right now as you guys are hearing my voice. So I want to quickly go, Chris, to just share a little bit more about your event and what exactly is it, how long is it, and when is it?
Yes, Josh, it is a 2-day event. So Friday, for example, guys, we will have VIP day. And that's just a chance for me to love on you guys that has been so good to me. We're going to fellowship together. We are going to love on each other, talk stocks. You guys know how we do. But then Saturday, we bring out all the stops. You're going to have, although Larry will be with me Friday and Saturday, Larry Jones will be in the building speaking, and a bunch of other heavy hitters. And speaking of Larry Jones, look who I got on deck today, guys. So now, man, we're going to have a really good time. It's going to have a really good experience. We're going to make sure you guys walk away with a lot of value, but more importantly, with the tools that you guys need to continue to further your growth in the market. Our whole goal is to help you guys invest and build wealth in the stock market. Everything we have lined up for you guys for Friday and Saturday is intended to do just that. So looking forward to seeing you guys there, and look forward to seeing your life change. Point blank, period.
Excellent. Hey, what's up, good people? I am excited that this man has invited me to be in the room with you guys. I am so excited. We're just going to just pour out until there's nothing left to pour. Looking forward to seeing you. Be there. All right. Just be there.
All right. I'm going to leave a link to the details of that in the description of the video. All right. I personally loved having Chris as a special guest, and I thought you guys would enjoy seeing him here on the show. I hope that you can check out the event that he's doing here in Dallas. I will not be in attendance. I have other locked in plans, but he was nice enough to come by and we were able to spend some time together. Let me talk to you today about the move that we saw on Palantir, and I'm going to quickly talk about the SPY. Let's go check that out. I bought that 1,000 shares yesterday at around $134.60. We've seen it run all the way up to $136.70, and now we're back testing what I believe had operated as resistance, and I now believe could operate as support. The next big target up for Palantir is 138, and I am going to put this video out early so you guys can see that it's moving. This was a little bit of a liquidity sweep. We have been actively staying above these critical levels that I've given you in the past of 134, 133. And if you are not burnt out on trading or investing in Palantir, I think the opportunity is still at hand. Big win from yesterday to today. You're getting this video early. We're getting a pullback. We've got the news of NVDA coming out this afternoon, which will absolutely move the markets. And interestingly, Mr. Washington took a big position in Palantir, and he even talked it up from the White House. We'll see. NVIDIA, I'll tell you, I traded it in the live session this morning with the Stocks with Josh family. We traded NVIDIA to the upside. Money Mike had some great calls. We traded Apple to the upside. I made a good money shorting INTC on the burst up to around 120. I shorted that. It came all the way back to 117. I'm going to continue to short INTC, but I'm going to keep my position size small because I believe that NVIDIA will do well. I think it will give a boost to the market. But the big thing and the only thing that matters regarding this week is if the gains that we see made today, likely, if we get them, I don't know that we'll get them, but if we do get them, which I'm expecting we will, is to see those gains stick by Wednesday, Thursday, and most importantly, Friday. So let's see how it goes. Peace and blessings. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. The market isn't hard because there aren't opportunities. It's hard because there are too many. And most people start their day simply wondering what to trade. That's why I built the Friendly Stock Screener. This is the Chart Goats process turned into a tool, so you have a clear starting point for the day. Stop scrolling through countless tickers. Quickly narrow down to the stocks that top traders are watching right now. It's called the Friendly Screener because it has a built-in scoring and grading system that even a brand new trader can follow, as well as educational content to learn about the market moves that dominate Wall Street. You spend less time searching, less time second-guessing, and more time focused on the names that can actually move. Don't get stuck at the starting line and miss out on money-making opportunities. Use the Friendly Stock Screener. Better stock picks, better focus, better trades.